Never let anybody see you sweat. So I was born in New York City, and I lived there until I was 8 years old. I realized that I was a much better talker than I was a listener. I don't know what to say, I just don't like what you're saying.
Sorry, Your Honor.
I ended up going to law school at Georgetown, and I was a prosecutor for Janet Reno. I loved it because it was so raw. Were you cheating on her?
Yeah, sure.
Okay.
All rise.
Our show will be a mixture of education, I think you're misreading the law a little bit, and entertainment. My main goal is justice and the law. That's been my legacy, and the legacy I hope to continue into the future with this show.
Jasmine Suarez claims her ex made a scene at their teen daughter's birthday party and refused to pay after he ruined the event. Lance Reynolds says he was outraged to see his 13-year-old in high heels on a pole, and his ex should pay for her bad judgment.
Ms. Suarez, you are suing Mr. Reynolds for $544.50 because, according to you, he ruined your daughter's birthday party, and that's what you had spent on it. Mm-hmm. Tell me what happened. How long were you two married or not married?
We're not married.
And how long were you two together before you broke up?
We were together for 8 years, and then we broke up. We have a 13-year-old daughter together, and we've been co-parenting for like 5 years.
How has that gone in the last 5 years, do you think?
It's been kind of hard because he has a hot temper. He's very strict with our daughter and doesn't let her grow. So we've been butting heads a lot.
What's your what would you say is your parenting philosophy, and what would you say is his parenting philosophy?
So my parenting philosophy is like want my daughter to be able to talk to her parents and not worry about anything. He's more like, you need to obey me and just listen to me and don't ask questions.
All right. Mm-hmm. What was your childhood like, and what was his childhood like?
See, my childhood, I had strict parents, so it's very, very sneaky. And I don't want my daughter to be like that. He had more of like, his parents were strict, religious, but he likes that. And yeah.
That's funny because I had very strict parents. I was chaperoned till I was a senior in high school. But I talked to my, the first person I would run and tell anything to was my mother. So it's possible to have like all kinds of things in your life. But let's talk about what happened in this case.
Okay, so I planned my daughter this mommies and mini pole dancing class. Okay. And pole dancing.
And
let's talk about Freudian slips. The plaintiff tries to explain the event as a pole fitness party, but the word stripping jumps out first. And in a courtroom, that one word might have already turned the judge and the audience against her. Pole fitness may be a legit workout for adults, but for minors? It's controversial, and when you don't tell the father in advance, you lose any chance of justification.
And yet the first word out of your mouth was stripping.
Sorry, pole dancing class. And it was just fun. Like she had her friends there and they were just playing along. The moms were there too. So
where had you heard about this?
She told me about it.
How had she heard about it?
I believe over social media. They were, it was like a great way for moms and daughters to just bond and have fun.
What was the age range for the children?
It was like from 5 to 18.
And I presume that it was pole fitness, not stripping.
No, pole fitness. Yes.
Pole fitness.
Pole fitness.
And so what does the class look like? There's a bunch of poles?
Yeah, so there's a bunch of poles everywhere. The parents are behind the kids, and we just learn techniques of like how to use your upper body strength to get up, and it's a whole body workout.
Right. Yeah. But it was a one-time thing. It was just the fun of a one-time thing. Mm-hmm.
So we rented the studio for 2 hours, and then we had an instructor there. I also had little bites, like little charcuterie boards and like fruit and all that stuff so the girls can eat while they were practicing.
Okay. Mm-hmm. Did you tell him about it?
I told him that we were having a brunch for our daughter.
But you did not tell him the pole part?
No, I didn't want to deal with him getting upset. It was all about our daughter, and I wanted to focus on our daughter.
Is it fair that you didn't let him in on what you were doing if you know he wouldn't approve and he's co-parenting with you?
I feel like when it's my time and she's not in any bodily harm, that I don't have to like give him that information.
Well, what if, when you say bodily harm, that's a pretty high bar.
Well,
what if when, he's, it's his time, he wants to do something that you don't approve of, you would expect to be consulted as a co-parent, right?
Yes.
How do you find out about the party? Because things did not go well when you found out.
So I was at my house, and my homeboy Robert was over. We was watching the game, and I was letting him know that I had to leave in a bit to go pick up my daughter from this brunch. And he told me,
were you going to pick her up at the pole dancing place?
Well, wherever the location is, she said.
Right.
I didn't know.
Wouldn't he then find out?
Well, it was a studio, so
he wouldn't find out unless he walked in.
Yeah.
I don't know. Okay, go on.
Yeah, so he is in a relationship with her friend Keisha, and he was telling me how he looking forward to the new moves that Keisha about to learn from this class that they had.
And Keisha was there with Keisha's daughter?
Yeah.
Is that his daughter?
No.
Okay.
He don't have kids. And,
right.
And I'm like, what you mean? What moves Keisha learning at the dance class? And he's like, oh yeah, they got a whole pole dancing class going over there. And I'm like, what you mean at the kids' party? And he was like, yeah, they over there, they got poles and everything. They dressed up and everything. And I'm like, why ain't nobody telling me this? And why are you talking about it like it's cool? Is you cool with this? And he like, I ain't got kids, so I'm just looking forward to what she about to show off when she get home. So I just left and I just drove there and I was enraged. And I saw red when I went into the party. I literally saw my daughter on the pole, and as any father can imagine, like that's like one things that'll trigger anybody as a father, you know. So
you got one job,
and that's to keep my daughter off the pole.
Coming up on Justice for the People.
Did you ever tell your daughter not to tell your father?
No, I told her.
Oh, be honest. You know you did.
I told her that we would talk to him after the party.
Yeah, right. Keep it from your father. Let me tell you what a bad parenting piece that is.
If you'll be in the Los Angeles area and want to bring your case to court, call 1-888-552-6878. You're watching Emmy-nominated Justice for the People with Judge Milian. We're back with the case of Jasmine Suarez, who is suing Lance Reynolds over a pole dancing party.
Tell me exactly what you saw when you got in there.
Now we're entering visual evidence territory, the details that emotionally charge this case. Dad says he saw his daughter in fishnets and heels. Mom argues they were small heels. But it doesn't matter if they were 2 inches or 4. The point is, he didn't know. Whether or not it was sexualized, the perception of it, especially for a father, triggered the reaction. And perception in parenting disputes? That's everything.
She literally was on the pole like this, and her leg was up, and she had on like some stockings and heels.
She had heels on?
Yeah, so she had like the attire. And
Does she normally wear heels?
Yeah, she wears my heels around the house.
No, that wasn't my question. Does she normally wear heels to parties or to any?
Small heels, yes.
Okay. Did she have small heels on, or what kind of heels did she have on? Crystal
like
shoes? What did she have on?
I don't know. It was grown up. It was pretty grown up.
They weren't that big.
How
they
big
were
were they?
appropriate.
Show me with your hands.
Probably like 2 inches, like that.
Well,
big.
that's like 4 inches that you. I don't know. I don't know who's telling you that's 2 inches.
4
Probably
inches.
no one.
It wasn't bad. She was able to walk. No ankles were twisted or anything like
Your Honor,
that.
they all was dressed alike. So
Say it again?
They all were dressed alike. The kids, the parents.
How were they dressed though?
Like some fishnet stockings and heels and
Fishnet stockings?
little
With
leg and arm showing.
With shorts.
Shorts and fishnet stockings?
All the girls had different stockings because it was showing their personalities. So
Your
they're
Honor.
very creative.
Hold on one
with
second.
it.
Who provides the stockings?
The parents came with the stockings, and then we rented the heels at the place.
Okay. Did the girls have a good time?
They for the first 15 minutes they were having like the best time ever until he came in and ruined the whole
was it really
vibe.
only 15 minutes after the party started?
Yeah, like we were just starting. We were getting ready for the class, maybe like 30, but it was right in the beginning, and he just ruined the vibe.
What did he do?
He came in barging, starts yelling, saying that we should be ashamed of ourselves, teaching our daughters all this, and I don't need my daughter on a pole, and nah. So he started trying to take our daughter away so she can go home. So that's when I stepped in and like, look, you need to stop, and we need to talk about this outside. But he wanted to be heard and made sure like everybody knew his opinion. So that's what happened. After a little bit, he went outside with me and we continued our conversation. When he finally went home, I went back and the vibe was
But he
dead.
didn't take your daughter.
No, he didn't take her.
Okay.
He let
And
her
so
stay.
when you say the vibe, I imagine that people were kind of laughing and commenting.
The moms are upset. Some of them know his personality, so they understand. But we had 2 new moms and 2 new girls, so they don't even know him like that. So just for him to barge in and these teenage
Do you think
girls,
they felt guilty? Like he successfully made them feel guilty?
they were kind of giggling about it, but some of them look really sad, like my daughter, because her dad is over here saying that you should be ashamed, you should be ashamed. But it's
What
like,
did your daughter say to you when you eventually picked her up later after the party?
No, she didn't want to come home with me. She was still upset.
Yeah, of course, because you humiliated her in front of her friends.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not saying you don't have a right to be upset that you were lied to and you weren't consulted. I'm saying...
And just like that, it's not about the pole anymore. It's about the humiliation. The party vibe dies. The girls stop dancing. The birthday girl stops smiling. The plaintiff's mistake was poor judgment. But the defendant's mistake? Making it worse in front of everyone. It's a textbook example of how emotional parenting reactions, even if justified, can backfire in real time.
The way as usual, what happens often in life is that the reaction is worse than the thing you're reacting to. And then it's all about your reaction instead of what you take the entire focus away from the thing you're reacting to, and it all becomes about your reaction, right?
I take accountability for the way I reacted.
Well, how have you taken accountability?
Well,
Just with me right now, or did you talk to your daughter about it?
I talked to my daughter after that.
Did you apologize?
Yeah, I apologized by the way I reacted. I
Did
didn't
you
mean
tell
to
her
hurt
you were mad at
feelings.
her for not being honest?
That's the main thing.
Did you ever tell your daughter not to tell your father?
no, I told her.
Oh,
that
be honest. You know you did.
I told her that we would talk to him after the party.
Yeah, right. Keep it from your father. Let me tell you what a bad parenting piece that is. Because see, that's the problem here too. You not only did you not respect him as a co-parent, because you knew he would never have approved this, but worse, you had your daughter be dishonest with him.
Yeah.
And that you don't train a 13-year-old to be a liar. What if he did that? What if he said, don't tell your mother?
Oh, I would probably be upset.
Right. These are all bad decisions.
Viewers asked, and now Judge Milian has the answer.
The question is, I wrote a check for $300 to pay for some work by a handyman and left it in the mailbox, but he never got it because someone stole it first. They bleached out the information, changed it to $3,000, and the bank cashed the forged check. Now my bank doesn't want to put the money back in my account. What can I do?
Wow, this happens more often than you would think. And there's law enforcement always trying to chase these cases down. People will get checks, they'll change them, add a zero, alter the handwriting, bleach them, and just put a new payee, a new person as the name on it. And the FBI, U.S. postal inspectors, local police are always trying to run down these types of cases. But the bottom line is the bank is only supposed to pay a check or an instrument that is properly payable, not one that's a forgery. And there are some pro-consumer laws in the Uniform Commercial Code or regulations and in state laws that will protect you up to a point. So I guess the question becomes, did you identify in a reasonable period of time to the bank that your check might have a problem, right? How bad was the forgery? Was it pretty obvious? Is the check,
and they should have known.
Yeah, right at that moment, they should have checked and they should have known. But I think the typical protocol in that would be the bank should
return your money.
Provisionally return the money.
Unless they end up investigating and you're in on it.
Right. They do their own investigation. They can do their own investigation.
They're the ones who made the mistake.
Right.
And it might be a little bit different when it's a business account, because sometimes business accounts have other rules about the time limitation you have to make the complaint or whatever. But bad on them that they honored a forged check.
Exactly.
They should be returning the money to your account.
Right. Now, that doesn't mean they're going to do it.
Right.
And a case like that can be a tough case for a consumer because it's only $3,000. An attorney is unlikely to get involved over that because he or she's not going to get paid enough money to make it worth their while. So, you just got to kind of make some noise.
You get your local police involved, your bank involved, and
Start chirping.
Start chirping.
Right.
You know, call the press.
Anything.
Coming up,
She told me that I embarrassed her.
Yeah.
And my thing that I wanted to express to her is, not telling me it's like the same as lying.
Of course.
So
Absolutely.
we're back with the case of Jasmine Suarez, who is suing Lance Reynolds over a pole dancing party.
How is she doing now? Like, is she over it? Do they think it's funny? Did they still enjoy themselves? I hope that they were able to enjoy themselves.
Well, after that.
I know you want to win this case, but I really hope that you were all able to enjoy themselves.
After a while, she had fun. We did another little thing after the next day, but she was still hurt about it.
Judge Milian lays it out perfectly. This isn't about brunch, or pole fitness, or heels. This is a co-parenting train wreck. Two parents claiming to love their daughter, but both too stubborn to work as a team. The irony? Their daughter ends up being the only one acting like an adult in this situation. Embarrassed, hurt, and caught in the middle of their ego war.
But she had some kind of
Okay, did
fun
the class
towards-
go on?
Not really.
What do you mean not really? You're paying an
ended it-
instructor, the instructor sits down? Like how?
The girls weren't having fun. They were just all droopy faces. And then my daughter, you could just tell like the energy wasn't there. She didn't even really want to dance, like grab the pole or anything. Like you could tell her excitement went from 100 to 0. Just like, boop, she just dropped down. So I'd asked to sing her happy birthday and call that whole event a day.
So are you suggesting that you called it all off after 30 minutes?
For an hour, because we were talking for a while. So they were still in there, and when I went back, they weren't even dancing.
Did you ever sit down and talk? Well, yeah, you said you did. You talked to your daughter. Did she say to you, "You ruined my party. It was humiliating"?
she told me that I embarrassed her.
Yeah.
And my thing that I wanted to express to her is, not telling me it's like the same as lying.
Of course.
So
Absolutely, I'm 100% behind you on that.
So that's
not telling you is the same as lying. No, it's worse. And telling your daughter, don't tell them till later. So that way, so tell them it's muffins.
Yeah.
I mean, that's ridiculous. You don't do that to a child. You don't put that child in that position.
Right.
You just don't.
Coming up,
That's not what this case is about in the slightest. What the case is about is, from my perspective, is just, does he owe you the money because he walked in there and got mad? What the case is about from your perspective is infinitely more significant.
you're watching Emmy-nominated Justice for the People with Judge Milian. We're back with the case of Jasmine Suarez, who is suing Lance Reynolds over a pole dancing party.
The question is, does he owe you the money for the party? That's the question.
Yeah.
Did he owe you some legal duty not to express himself at the party? There's no question he embarrassed your daughter. And there's no question that I would not have done that, because then it becomes about your reaction and you're the bad guy. Do you understand that?
I understand.
What you want to do is sit down, talk to your daughter, talk to her, and make sure it doesn't continue, that it was a one-time thing. And look, pole dancing has been, I realized that at first,
Stripper was the first word out of Mom's mouth, and like a bad tattoo, it stuck. Even if this was about fitness, the optics mattered. Especially to a dad who wasn't told the truth. Legal tip: in family law and co-parenting, perception plus secrecy equals conflict. Transparency is always cheaper than court.
at first blush, you look at this and you say, pole dancing, and you go nuts, okay? Yeah. She even accidentally said stripper. Exactly. That was the first words out of her mouth.
That's all he says in my head. It's
right, because it's in your head and it's in his head. That's why he was mad. So I get it, all right? In fairness to her, I don't know if you know this, but this has become a health thing, like a form of there's like you went to Pilates class, you go to pole dancing class. Now, let's be honest. Any of us who have ever done a pole dancing class didn't just do it for the burned calories. That's not what this case is about in the slightest. What the case is about is, from my perspective, is just, does he owe you the money because he walked in there and got mad? What the case is about from your perspective is infinitely more significant, which is, how do you effectively co-parent that child? And was this effective? Yeah, he shouldn't have walked in there, screamed, and ruined her 13th birthday, which only happened because you lied, essentially. Your lie of omission. You lied. You said it was brunch. It wasn't brunch. And you had her lie, which is infinitely worse.
Judge Milian's verdict when Justice for the People returns. You're watching Emmy-nominated Justice for the People with Judge Milian.
Do you love your daughter?
I love her.
Do you love your daughter?
Absolutely.
Okay, that's all that matters. So now you've got to get together as a team and co-parent effectively and in her best interest. And that means not hiding stuff from him. And that means controlling your temper too, right? And talking about it like sane individuals. Otherwise, you're only hurting her. And we don't want to hurt her, right? We want her to be happy and healthy and well-adjusted, right? All right.
Judge Milian rules. No legal duty breached, no money awarded. Dad's reaction was messy, but not criminal or contractually forbidden. Mom's lack of communication and misleading behavior? That's the root cause, not grounds for financial compensation. The judge urges them both, stop hurting your daughter with your feud. Start co-parenting like grown-ups.
I am not going to rule in your favor. I'm ruling in the defendant's favor because I don't think that he had a legal obligation not to blow his lid. And I also think that even though that was embarrassing and everything else it was, that doesn't create a legal obligation for him to pay for the party. The responsibility would be for everybody there to laugh it off and make sure that their children had a good time. And if the mothers didn't know how to do that, shame on them. They should learn how to do that, because there will always be moments in life that we have to progress beyond. Good luck to the two of you.
All rise.
If this episode had you fired up like it did us, smash that like, hit subscribe, and drop your thoughts below. We break down real cases, real drama, and real legal lessons, only on Courtroom Commentary. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next case.